This neat little Jerry Garcia snippet comes from a Laserdisc. The Kasem's Rock and Roll Goldmine, the San Francisco Sound Laserdisc. Laserdisc? Okay. Before there was streaming, there were Blu-rays, Blu-ray discs. And before there were Blu-ray discs, there were DVDs. And before that, there was the first digital video format, Laserdiscs. Before that, there was an analog disc format called the video disc. Before that, there was VHS. And before that, there was Beta. And if you had lots of money, you might have had a U-matic machine before the Betamax came out. But I digress. So enjoy this little bit of Jerry Garcia.
Every decade has its own character, and each decade changed the lives of the people who lived through that particular era. But there has never been, before or after, a decade like the 60s, the decade of the greatest rock and roll ever. I'm Kasem. In 1849, gold was discovered near San Francisco, starting a rush to riches that changed America forever. Well, almost 120 years later, there was another rush to the Golden Gate. But this time, the attraction was the thrill of a new freedom, a freedom that some said was the beginning of a golden age. Well, it may not have been that, but by the time it was over, we all knew that again, America would never be the same. At the center of it all was the real gold, the kind found in our rock and roll gold mine. Come back with me, back to the summer of love. Most of our acts have disappeared into legend. But one act continues to survive. The Grateful Dead's good time combination of rock, folk, and country music performed in long, free-form concerts continues to amaze and entertain, and are attended by legions of self-professed deadheads, many of whom are too young to even remember the band's beginnings.
We were always, off at a tangent about 90 degrees from everything, you know what I mean? So we were not agreeing with the 60s while they were happening. We didn't agree with the 70s while they were happening, and we don't agree with the 80s now that they're happening, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're part of the mix, you know what I mean? We're a continuation of your basic street hippies, you know. Or we could call us crossover beatniks, you know. Somewhere in that strata is who we are, and plus with a little bit of that the folk music scare of the early 60s, you know, a little of that thrown in. And then the Grateful Dead really owes most of its interest to serendipity, just the fact that everybody in the band is very different and has very different musical backgrounds. The notion trucking, the look of it and the feel of it and all that was something that we could relate to. That's the word part of it. But the experience part of it, the verses and everything, as far as our song is concerned, is really about us and about being on the life on the road. Really, it's you know, little snapshots.
Though it only lasted for a few short years, the San Francisco counterculture's influence can, for better or worse, still be felt today. It gave rise to the drug culture and the sexual revolution. But it also produced a social and political awareness that spread throughout the country. It even helped stop a war. The San Francisco sound was music with a message, music with a conscience. It was rock and roll you didn't just dance to, it was rock and roll you listened to. There will be other great decades in the future, but a decade like the 60s, that's something that comes along only once in a lifetime. The tunnel is dark and mysterious, but at the end is a gold mine, a rock and roll gold mine. And the treasure is ours to share.
Thank you for watching Cleveland Live Music. I can't play a lick. That's why I'm a taper. Thanks for watching the channel and making it grow. If you want to subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Patreon and GoFundMe would be appreciated. Maybe I could get guitar lessons.